Welcome to the level. Hi, everybody. Happy holidays. It is November and holiday season is upon us. Thank you for joining us weekly for your weekly check in for geek and pop culture where everything collides. I'm your host, Rainy Days, Skitty Live, and the man behind the chair, Bruce McFly, bringing you a whole bunch of fun each and every Sunday. Oh, hold on, my volume's up, guys. Double projection. And just a few things to check in before we get started with this week's show. Make sure you check out the critical level. They just dropped a recent top 10 favorite games of all time. Make sure you check it out and click like, subscribe to someone who knows a geek, who knows a gamer, who knows you. And if you have an Amazon Prime account, you get a free Twitch sub. Use it on the level. It costs nothing to you and a whole lot to us. And make sure you check out our most recent merch drop. We have a Level Sports Network hat that is fire and will keep your head warm for the holiday season. Now, before we get into this week's topic, what's going on? How you guys been? How you living?
I'm good. I'm good for the most part. Been doing a lot of retro gaming. Been just finished Onimusha Warlords. It's funny how back in the day these games used to feel so much longer than they used to be, and now that I'm older, I'm just beating them in like a couple of hours, which is weird. But I don't
True.
know. I
Very
digress.
true. Very true. Very true. Very true.
Oh,
Very true.
I'm sorry. And somebody had some My Hero Academia slander on this post that I made on
Mhm.
TikTok. And they were like, oh, big three status. This must be rage bait click. My Hero Academia is the new big three. Get the fuck over it. Numbers, influence, manga. When everybody dropped off the face of the earth during COVID, My Hero was still dropping bangers. Fuck out of here. Okay, I'm done.
Very passionate about My Hero Academia, but we will get to that later on in today's episode. For me, it is the start not only of holiday season, but of birthday seasons in my house. Like literally, I have a birthday like every week since last week. So it's like my nephew is turning the Big 10
Okay.
today. He is having a gaming theme birthday party. Kirby, Kirby, Kirby. We talked about Kirby a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Generational, it survived. But as far as what I've been doing, I've been watching stuff, obviously stuff that we're going to talk about this week, but I am almost done the morning show, which is the Apple TV series. It's season 4. I love it. It is a masterpiece. Every season surprises me. It like just gets better. And so I'm not going to spoil too much, but if you guys like, just to kind of watch the way the world is perceived, like real time and dealing with real time stuff, but also in kind of like a dramatic setting. It has Reese Witherspoon, it has Steve Carell, and it also has Jennifer Aniston in it. So definitely a good watch. Um, I just recently found out that Hijack is coming back with Idris Alba. If you guys never seen Hijack, it is another Apple TV series and it is getting a season 2 after like 5 years, I think. Basically, like he's like the original series season he was on the plane and it got hijacked. So basically he gotta be the one. It's kind of like what's that? It's kind of like what's the guy name that does Taken? Uh,
Oh,
what's his
Liam
name?
Neeson.
Liam Neeson. Yeah, it's like he has these certain set of skills that allow him to do certain things, and he always gets put in a situation where he got to save a bunch of people from, have
Oh,
meeting their
so it's
demise.
like a new age passenger 57.
Yeah, kind of like that for sure. Like, so I'm curious to see that's going to drop in January. But yeah, I just been, vibing out, trying to adjust to the new season, ready for the weather to finally get cold. 'Cause I'm tired of being warm.
I was about to say if we're talking about stuff that's coming out, there was a trailer that dropped of this new zombie movie called We Bury the Dead, and that looks really good, really good. I would definitely suggest you check it out. I
Yes,
put it
it
in our
definitely does
Discord.
look good. I did watch the trailer of it. I did. So I've been seeing it going around on social media this week. So I love zombies. So I'm here to watch it. I'm definitely here to watch it. Um Before we get started, I do have an intro question or like an icebreaker question for this week. And I saw it going around social media and I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. So I thought I wanted to ask us and anyone in the chat and in the Discord. You can choose to chime in later. But the question is, would you rather go against the Power Rangers or the Ninja Turtles?
Because this is the same face that I made when I saw the question, and I'm like, neither. Like, they both can knock your block off. Like, you know what I mean? No pun intended. They got superhuman strength, both of them. You know what I'm saying? They both all of them are martial arts experts. Why would you want to go toe to toe with either one? I would rather, and it also depends on what Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles you're talking about. Because if the ones in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s cartoon, you can have a piece of you have some large pizza, you know what I'm saying, and get out of the fight. But if you talking about the black and white comic book Ninja Turtles, your ass is grass. They ain't eating no pizza with you. You know what I'm saying? And then Power Rangers, you know what I'm saying? They're a bunch of kids. So I don't know, man. They might have some attitude problems. I don't, five teenagers with attitudes. That's what Zordon wanted. What type of teenagers are we getting? Do we really know Zach? Do we really know Trini? I mean, I don't know. But nah, I wouldn't want to go against neither of them. But if I had to, it'd be the cartoon '90s Ninja Turtles. I can get out of it with a box of pizza.
That's funny. I chose so my reaction was the Power Rangers. Only because uh the Power Rangers get their ass handed to them like every week. If the putties can beat them up, I feel like I got a shot. I'm just saying, like they always getting thrown off a screen and all they need is a good, mix somebody break up the group, somebody flirt with Tommy. All we need is some drama to get the
You
Power
know,
Rangers.
putties are strong as hell, though, right? Like
And yet
putties ain't
somehow
weak.
the Power Rangers have to struggle every week to defeat them.
Yeah, they strong as hell. Like,
I'm just saying, if I'm going against a man who has these superhuman abilities, calls himself Shredder, and basically runs the underground, or the same clay creations that every week kind of come and defeat me, and somehow I have to wait until the end of the episode to kind of barely win. Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm just saying, the Power Rangers, they get easily compromised. That's all I'm gonna say. They
like,
easily
did
are
you see? Did
infiltrated.
you see on the new Power Rangers when Billy leaned on the sink? He ain't even have his. He wasn't even morphed. They regular strong. They not. They not even
Mm,
regular.
mhm,
They not
mhm.
regular when they regular.
Unless they, and yet they still get their ass handed to them every other week by the putties. That's all I'm saying. Like,
If you
I,
think
I
this,
I I have to interject in this. I literally have to because I'm just going to say this. This is my opinion. All of these are opinions.
mhm.
I would rather face the Ninja Turtles because the Ninja Turtles, you're going to get. There's nothing. If you put the Ninja Turtles versus the Power Rangers, there's if they bring out a whatever Zord, the only thing in the Ninja Turtles universe is fighting it is the Technodrome, or maybe Krang when he get bigger. Come, all right, never mind. I'm going back to produce.
Superhero turtles or regular high school students. I get you though. But yeah, hi. But that was a good question. I'm glad. I saw it going around. Everybody was going back and forth. I'm like, that's a very interesting question. So I'm glad we got that icebreaker question going on. But make sure you let us know in the chat, who would you rather face, the Power Rangers or the Ninja Turtles? Um, that's so it's so funny when you think about it. But let's get into this week's episode. So we're going to talk about this week The Witcher season 4. We're going to talk about probably one of the best cinematic episodes on screen so far. It Welcome to Derry episode 4. We're going to get into My Hero Academia and we're going to talk about the recent drop on Netflix, The Last Samurai Standing. But first up on the agenda is The Witcher. Season 4 of The Witcher came in hot, messy, and magical. Somehow everyone's confused about where Ciri is, but she out here for the streets and nobody can find her. Everybody's looking for her in the wrong place at the wrong damn time. The season opens up with Nimue correcting and retelling the story of The Witcher, saying that we have been told the story wrong all along. as everybody knows that a new cast of Liam Hemsworth has taken over Henry Cavill for The Witcher, and fans have been drawn. So let's talk about hot takes, deep dives, and a whole lot of magic in the Witcher universe. How do you guys feel about The Witcher? Did you get a chance to watch it? And how do you feel about season 4?
It was a hard watch for me. Um, Not because of Liam Hemsworth. I stated earlier before we were recording that them Hemsworth know some action because the action sequence on that joint was fire. Like I'm not even going to take away from that. Um, I saw how Netflix was kind of petty though, that they ain't have Henry Cavill's face throughout the whole recap. Like no conversation with Garrett throughout that whole recap, and I'm like, wow, it's kind of petty. But I like how and even though this doesn't look like continuity, it looked like it's leading up to the new Witcher game that's coming out, which would be interesting if those stories do coincide with each other. Because on the trailer of The Witcher 4, you do see that's her grown up, right? On the game. Yeah,
Hmm.
so that's what I'm saying. You see her grown up a little bit more, hands on. And if I'm not mistaken, she's a character that you pick on there, right? I'm not too familiar with the Witcher 4 game,
Yes,
so
you could be Siri.
but yeah, so that's what I'm interested in. As far as I'm concerned, even though it was a hard watch, it still told a good story. It wasn't, lackluster in its storytelling. I just wish that, you know, it wasn't so drawn out in an hour episode. I could have done, a half hour, with more episodes, but it felt like, how Korean shows be like hours long. It felt like that. Felt like that. Felt like too many
Hmm.
situations was just a little bit drawn out for me. That's for me. But yeah, that's my take.
I don't even remember most of the stuff that happened on it because it's been so long, but I wrote stuff down when I was watching it. Um, to me, I enjoyed it. Uh, I was waiting for The Witcher. I'm a fan of The Witcher. Once I got over the recasting, which I knew about beforehand, I was cool with it. Like I asked Ebony, why don't Harry Potter people do this type of magic in their show? I mean, I'm not a Harry Potter fan, so before y'all kill me in the comments, it is what it is. I don't care.
Boy, I
Um,
was about to call Dick Grayson right quick. Hold up.
call them. um, so to me, wrapping mine up real quick, I gave it an 8.5. So whenever y'all get to the reviews, you can just throw that in there. I enjoyed it.
All right. Well, a couple things to point out for this episode. I mean, this season. So this let's just talk about the obviously, I guess the thorn in the room, right? Liam Hemsworth, right? He was recast as The Witcher. He replaced Henry Cavill after a whole bunch of stuff happened. But I'm gonna be honest, you barely notice it. Like I think Netflix did a good job with like subtly, like kind of only showing his face when necessary. You can see some of the scenes was definitely recast, like or taped over with his face, tape over with his face. Like you actually see like all of that, but they do a good job with it really not being a big deal. Like I don't think once you get over the fact that you obviously are a Henry Cavill fan, like once you actually watch it, you really don't feel. To me, it's a difference between the two girls. Like I shout out to Liam Hemsworth for definitely stepping in the role and actually doing a good job because as Skitty said, they do action very well, and it wasn't like he was bad. He was actually really good. It's just I think the issue is a lot of things fans are saying, critics are saying, is the season wasn't that good. They veered off a lot of continuity.
So
The
real
show.
quick, I got a question for you. A question for you with that. I want to real I do acknowledge what Skitty says. I don't want to just come off like it's mine or my thoughts over anybody's, but I acknowledge what he said. But as me, a fan of The Witcher, I enjoyed it. You, Ebony, what were the critics saying? I mean, what continuity were they saying that it wasn't following other than the change of the main character? I want to know because I haven't
Yeah.
seen any of that, but I just want to know what were they saying.
So the storyline, and compared to like the games,
Mm-hmm.
the storyline is different. They went a little bit direction. Some of the like the rats, they kind of the
That's
what
not in the
happened.
game.
What yeah, it's kind of like they added things to kind of fluff up the season, and they
Mm-hmm.
already finished season 5. But the showrunner who actually created, who was started The Witcher, she left.
Mm-hmm.
She's left this season. So, a lot of people saying they're veering off the path to what we know from the games, from, is it a comic? Like from what we already know. I am not a big fan of the Witcher games, but when I was doing my research, like I said, the rats, the things with Siri, even some stuff with Geralt was just a little bit different coming on screen. And
Mm-hmm.
Netflix has kind of like a thing of doing that. They kind of fluff up their shows, obviously to create the drama and to create the hype. But when
Mm-hmm.
people are fans of the actual content, they went in. They were saying, "What is this? This is kind of like fluff. This is
Kind of like the whole MCU because all of
yeah,
that is different.
yeah,
So
yeah."
once again, you just got spoiled people that are used to something a certain way in the, I guess, the source material.
hmm
I mean, and sometimes you have to stretch stuff out to fit. I mean, TV,
Time.
small screen,
The
big screen,
narrative that's
whatever.
being said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I get it. I get it.
Yep, definitely. But I lost my train of thought. But yeah, but I can say, according like with Bruce, I thought it was a good watch. Even not knowing what I knew until after I watched it, the action this season was Siri, aka Falca. She was slicing and dicing ass. Like I
When
don't know how
when
else you like.
when that carriage was about to leave her friend, when they did that job, and she went in there and was like, "Follow me, follow my lead." Man, she took that dagger, dipped on Bull, cut him in the thigh. I was like, all right,
But
okay.
she even had one scene where she was trying to get a tattoo, and the guys was
Mm,
following her around, and they came in, and she was like, "I knew you guys been following me. Yeah, we've been following you since so and so." She gets up, grabbed the sword. They're like, "You're coming with us." She literally unlocks them in like
awesome,
in like
awesome.
5 seconds, and
Yeah.
then walks and then sits down and get the tattoo back. Like you definitely see her internal struggle. As pointed out, is that is she giving into her demons? Is she giving into the dark side? Because we know that Siri is basically the thing that everybody wants. She is the ultimate weapon. She's the child between human and elf, right? And the prophecy is that she is going to create another child that eventually is going to either rule the world or destroy the world, right? So the whole thing is everybody's looking for Siri, but no one's looking for Siri for where she actually is. But one of the good things I like this season, we got Lawrence Fishburne. My man came in as a vampire, and this vampire, his name was Regis. Wow, this man, I enjoyed that character very much. He had like the Frederick Douglass look for some reason. I don't know what they was going. If you haven't seen Frederick Douglass, Google a picture of him. That's exactly how Lawrence Fishburne looked in this. But he was a vampire who also was a barber surgeon. They debunk a lot of vampire rumors, basically saying vampires can't be staked, that garlic doesn't work on them, that even if you decapitate the vampire, it's not going to kill him. I thought that was a very interesting take on like the vampire lore because I've never seen, I guess, that kind of take in vampires. Did you guys enjoy Lawrence Fishburne character? Fishburne?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The him playing the higher vampires, that was very interesting because I didn't even really think they were going to add that in there this early, but they did, and I fucked with it. I really fucked with it, especially the fact that when you find out that, because you know about this from the game. There's vampires in the game,
Mm-hmm.
on three to be exact, or correction, three and the extra content. But sorry, got a kernel in my mouth.
I say you drooling over
uh,
there, buddy. You eating popcorn?
there
Oh,
we go.
okay.
Um, but that was an interesting take on vampires that are higher in rank, or like higher in their species rank, where they don't need blood, but when they drink blood, it increases their strength, it increases their abilities, and they can survive, just they're basically human again. but with the exception of certain things. So that was very interesting.
Definitely agree. Definitely agree. And then we also get a. So I'm gonna say R.I.P. to Vesemir, who was the leaders of the Witcher. He his life was ended by Vilgefortz, who is the one of the main antagonists in the show. And Vilgefortz had no chill. Like he had no cut card. He was out there killing and sacrificing witches and warlocks just so he can kill and get Ciri. But Vesemir
What
definitely
is the
gave him.
name of the final boss on Harry Potter?
Oh, Voldemort.
Because I was like, these two dudes' names.
And when you brought that up, because I actually like that when you brought up the fact of Harry Potter, I compared Vilgefortz to Voldemort because that scene where he's calling his minions to Alzatura, like they kind of come out of the shadows. That's exactly how the Death Eaters come out in Harry Potter. They kind of like poof out of chaos
Oh,
or
okay,
darkness.
okay. So,
So
do you know the story of Harry Potter came before the story of The Witcher, right?
Witcher is older, ain't it?
I mean, I don't know.
Harry Potter. I got it. Harry Potter.
Harry Potter's older.
The book is okay. So okay, got you. All right.
Okay, I
I
was
wasn't
just
sure if The
saying
Witcher
which
was older
one
because of
borrowed
The
game
from
story,
wise.
which.
the story of Harry Potter, that world is older. Has been told. Well, it was told before The
The
Witcher.
Witcher. Okay, got you. Yeah. So you definitely see a lot of comparison because I definitely did a one for one because I thought it was an interesting question. Like if Harry Potter, and we know this series is coming up, so HBO Max is releasing a Harry Potter series, right? And everybody's been talking about it, the changes. Wondering if it's going to be better or worse than the actual movies. If Harry Potter had the budget, a TV MA rating, and the Netflix behind it, it would have basically been The Witcher. Because there's a lot of things in the book that the movie sacrificed because it was PG-13. During that time, you want kids. Kids are a better fan base. They buy the toys, they buy the merch. They convince the parents. So if Harry Potter had the same exact, structure as The Witcher, it would have almost been that, especially that scene with Voldemort, how he act, even him cutting the hands off. Because Voldemort, he tortured hundreds of thousands of wizards to find Harry, and he even though it was Harry, like he pulled out teeth, he waterboarded them, he used curses to basically make them go insane. Like Voldemort was not playing, but he was definitely rated because of TV. But he was like, he was bad. He was probably even badder than Vilgefortz. Like he would sacrifice his child for Harry. So it's definitely interesting to see the magic come out because magic and the lore across this different supernatural TV shows has similarities, but it's always something different that makes them stand out. And I think that's what The Witcher does. There were certain things in The Witcher that just made the magic stand out a little bit more that other things can kind of learn from. So, but yeah, definitely, I was interested to see that comparison because I'm like, oh well, let me compare the two. But the other thing we found out this season is that Geralt has been lying about his name. He is not Geralt of Rivia. he became Geralt of Rivia this season. Before he had just claimed the place because if anybody asked him where he was from, he would just claim the first place to claim the mine. And so he actually gets knighted at the end of the season by the Queen of Rivia, and which is kind of like a issue for Geralt because the thing about being knighted is your loyalty comes to the Queen first, and we know with Geralt, his loyalty lied to his family. So that was interesting to see as well. But the other thing I wanted to say is we also get another antagonist in the show. His name is I think Leon Barnhart. Make sure I got the right name. Leo Barnhart. Leo Barnhart. And Leo Barnhart, I'm not sure in the Witcher series if he's a Witcher. Do you guys know if he was a Witcher and he became a bounty hunter or if he is just a bounty hunter?
Now, all the ins and outs, I definitely
Okay.
don't know. So I don't even want to get on here and start lying, and somebody come back
So,
for me in the comments. And I mean, I like trying to be accurate, but no, I to answer your question, I personally don't know.
got you. I'm gonna have to look it up because he does look like a Witcher, obviously with the white hair. He has the different Witcher chains around that he's taken from killing Witchers over the course of his time. But he's basically tasked for capturing Ciri. and he has to set up the rats. And when I say he slaughtered the rats, he slaughtered. They thought they had him, and they didn't.
You know who
He
that is, right? That actor is, right?
Who is it?
Well, Rorschach in The Watchmen. He's if you remember, what was the name of that movie where the people were in Africa and aliens were like living there? They were like refugees. It was that movie.
Let me pull it
You
up.
know
Hold
what? It was the big spaceship was hovering over
District
like
9.
District 9.
on. Okay.
He was the one that eventually turned to one of those aliens in District 9.
Oh yeah, because they also did a movie,
It was with the robot.
hardcore, hardcore Henry.
Oh, Hardcore
Yeah,
Henry. Yeah,
first,
yeah,
first,
yeah.
because he
I
would
remember
pop up as
Hardcore Him.
different people.
But
It was
if
like,
you
yeah,
look
I'm
up
trying to help you.
Rorschach in The Watchmen, that's also him, Ebony, if you remember that movie.
Let me
Yes,
look.
I do. I love the Watchmen.
Yes, it is.
That's Freddy. That's the okay. Correction. That's the new Freddy or the recent Freddy. Freddy
Oh,
Krueger.
you know what? I get both of those dudes.
They do. I was looking at his face and I was like, oh snap, that is War. And then this one you was like District 9. I was like, nah, if you talking
Oh
about
yeah,
him.
both of them. Well, one of them dudes, that's him. I can't. Now I'm confused who is who, but one of them dudes is him.
They do look alike. Yep. Oh, I didn't know he was in. Sorry, I didn't know. Sidebar. You know the morning show we was talking about.
Yes.
I didn't know that the guy who plays Corey was Doctor Manhattan.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's so
Yeah.
crazy. Okay, sorry, that was a sidebar. Okay, but now we
Dirty
got this.
Corey. Dirty Corey.
Dirty Corey,
Hold
my
on.
man.
Real quick sidebar. Real quick sidebar. All Her Fault is one of the most classic TV shows you can ever watch.
I'm about to watch it. I'm
That's
almost
all I
finished the
gotta
morning
say.
show. Almost done. So I'm
Yeah,
just trying
yeah.
to.
All right, my bad. My bad.
Sorry, Skitty. but
Oh, you good, right?
but
Because I was looking at his name. His name is Sharto Copley.
yes, Leon Bonhart, Leo Bonhart. He shows up and
So which one of those movies was he in? Leo
he
Brown.
w- he was in District 9.
Got you.
Yep.
Elysium, Chappie,
Yeah,
District
that's
9.
the movie I was talking about, Chappie with the robot, because that was supposed to be maybe a part two to District 9.
Chappie, I
That was like,
remember
yeah.
Chappie.
And
Yes.
then
Okay.
he was the crazy dude on the A-Team movie.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He was not Murdoch, not Hannibal, not Face. I know all four of them.
Murdoch. You said it
Yeah,
right.
Murdoch. Hold
Murdoch.
up. Murdoch, Hannibal.
Cause
Oh
Face
yeah,
was
BA. It was BA,
yeah,
Murdoch, Hannibal, and Face. There you go.
Murdoch. So yeah, he was Murdoch.
My
So he was
bad.
in a lot of stuff. No, it's fine. He was in a lot of stuff. A lot more stuff than I thought. Like, his face looked familiar, but the way he looked in The Witcher was like kind of hard to really pinpoint him. But
And
now
I
that
don't
we
want
all know
nobody to
it's
say I'm
hard.
saying all Caucasian people look alike. I just got them confused.
Well, no, we digress. But basically, and after he kills the rats, and he also winds up off in Siri's love interest in front of her. He then cuts their heads off and pickle them and forces Siri's to watch. So that was like another crazy. Like if you watch him in this show, like the way he handles everybody he comes across, they all doubt him because he looks like an old drunk wino, but my man's sword skills is top notch. I can't wait to see him go against Girl in season 5. I know that's what they're leading to. So I'm definitely excited to see that. So I have a few questions about The Witcher for you guys. I know we kind of talked about it, but do you think that Liam Hemsworth as Girl was a good fit, or did they mess up?
Let Kitty
I,
let Skitty start it off
Let
because I
Kitty,
think he's more down on him than we are. So
let Kitty.
no, I mean he was cool. He was cool. Like I said, the action was on point. I'm saying overall, season 4 was a hard watch. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Compared to the pacing and storytelling of the other seasons, you know, what I mean that's kind of what like why I kept on falling asleep and having to get up and try to go back to where I was watching it. But as far as him being Geralt, I didn't it didn't bother me. I enjoyed it. Like I said, especially when he did that action sequence with the monster. So once I was convinced with the action sequence, that was downhill from there. Because that was the
Yeah.
one thing, I mean, Henry Cavill, we love him, you know what I'm saying? He's Superman forever. But you know what I'm saying? It's just that when he played Geralt, he made it his part, he made it his own, and he did the damn thing. And this is going. I might get a little hate off of this, but in my eyes, Hemsworth's action sequence was just a little bit better than Henry's, especially when it came to the green screen
You're not gonna get
action
no grief from
Oh
me
sequences.
because
man.
actually had that to say. I just looked at my notes and was like, he plays the role of the Witcher better to me. I mean, so my bad.
Yeah, the action sequence. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was fire. It was yeah.
I agree. I agree. I feel like, and just looking back on it kind of felt like at some point, and not saying that's the case, but like it looked like Henry Cavill hurt to be this role, but like Liam was just like so smooth with it. Like I don't know if it was just maybe their size, and not saying Henry wasn't great at it, but like you guys say, he just kind of was a little bit more smoother with the action sequence and the whole Witcher of it all. Like I wish he would have had the opportunity from the beginning, and obviously not scrapping what we had seen so far, but it'd been nice to see him throughout the whole season instead of just kind of like little one-offs because they did go it seemed like Netflix pushed it a little bit much with trying to cut the pieces together because there was some scenes that was like this is clearly last season. This was shot last year. This was shot a couple months ago. Like it was definitely like that scene when he was talking. They had like a scene where they did like a flashback and he was having a conversation with Siri. And when you watch the scene, there, if you ever notice in the scene when you guys get to that episode, they never actually look at each other. There's always a scenario where when you look at Siri, the background is different. When you look at Liam, is different. And then when they look at each other, they kind of either have Siri looking away or she's like phased out, like it was like an actress, something in there for that scene. But that part, I was like nitpicking, like, all right, if you're gonna recast somebody, at least make it a little bit cleaner. It kind of seems like they rushed through some things, but like I said, shout out to Liam Hemsworth for doing his thing. Next question: are you guys looking towards season 5? It may be the last live action version of The Witcher. They talking about going straight to animation after this.
Yeah, I'm always looking forward to something, I guess, that I enjoy because I enjoyed it. So I want them to at least, if this is the last season coming up, I want to know how this ends, their version of it ends. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, like I said, I'm not really, a big Witcher guy, but I mean, it's something to watch. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Definitely true. Definitely. I'm looking forward to it. I want to see how it ends. Obviously, I want to see them find Siri. Like they need to be reunited and it feels so good. And I also need to see Geralt versus Leo. So that's what I'm waiting for. I want to see that match. But my last question while we were on the topic. So, do you think that Harry Potter should get a Witcher style dark reboot?
I think they should just stick with the continuity that they have in the books. Um, that's basically all we asking for. And the reason why I said it like that was because I was looking at your comment when I said all I asked for is for him to be recognized as a mutant and Psylocke being his sister. That's why I said it exactly like that. We're going to talk about that later. But nah, I mean, yeah, just it don't gotta be. You know what? If they do what Disney is doing with the Percy Jackson series,
Hmm.
I'll be cool with it. I'll be cool with it because that Percy Jackson series on Disney Plus is fire, and I'm glad that
Yes,
they're
the
coming.
season 2 is coming soon.
Yeah,
They just
so
put the
I'm
trailer out.
if they stay with the formula of the book and give it like that, then I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with what they're gonna do. I mean, they kind of fell off with House of the Dragons just a little bit. Um, I don't know what they're gonna do with this new Game of Thrones spinoff series that's coming, but
What fell off with House of the Dragon?
Oh
I
man.
mean,
Yeah, what fell off?
this
Because if
didn't
we
this
if
is
we
a
coming from Game
controversial
of
topic.
Thrones season 8 to House of the Dragon, what fall off?
okay, all right. If you're going in that context, then all right, nah, it didn't really fall off. But I'm talking about with what they're doing with the story in general. You know what I'm
What
saying?
so
You
so
gotta.
So now I don't even
Did
think
I?
I'm coming at you with this one. I think this leads back to what Ebony said earlier about changes in. So what are you saying about the story? Like
No,
you
no.
don't
I
like
mean,
where this.
I'm talking about with the pacing of the
The
story. You
pacing.
know what
A
I'm
lot
saying?
of
The
people have been
pacing,
complaining about the
not like
pacing.
I'm not saying about how because I like House of the Dragon. I watch it every time when the episodes drop. I watch it. I'm not saying I'm not a fan of the show, but what I'm saying is that how everything is building up. You know, let's get to it. They're cooking. And
It's
okay,
I get
simmering.
it's the style.
so
It's the style of
They
so
cooking.
you
slow
saying
cooking.
so
Right,
just so I
right.
can be clear because if I'm understanding it one way, I totally agree with you. If I'm taking it another way, then we're gonna have to have a debate. Are you saying
Okay,
they're moving too slow or too quick?
too slow.
Got you. I agree.
Too
Yep.
slow. That's what I was saying. The pacing, you know what I'm saying, with what they're doing with the story. Whenever I say pacing, I mean speed. I don't mean like, uh
Yeah, I know.
uh
I know.
Yeah.
I was just saying if you were talking about was it moving too slow or too fast, I
oh
had to
yeah.
differentiate because I
No.
absolutely do think it's moving too slow because
Yeah.
the source material on that it's not a lot of it. Is
Yeah. It's not.
Exactly.
exactly
Exactly.
so
So they're
they trying to
Yeah.
stretch
freestyling.
it out
They're
to
freestyling.
get money. I got you. I got
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
and that's what you can and see. That's what I see with The Witcher season 4.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I see. I see that, again, just like with Game of Thrones, they ain't have nothing else. No books were out, so they was just freestyling. Like, oh, all right, this sounds good. All right, maybe we can do this. This was
Well,
crap.
ironically, news just dropped about Game of Thrones, and George R. R. Martin has decided that he may release a alternate ending to season 8. That's what the HBO was saying. They're going back to correct their mistakes on top of the other spinoffs in the Game of Thrones universe that
That
they are
sounds like a waste of
potentially.
money.
Well, I mean, if I guess you're right, but in that universe, especially since we probably never gonna get the end of the book, because George R. Martin just said "F it," he rather do other stuff. But
That sounds like Mass Effect 3 all over again.
but on top of the fact, the House of the Dragon season 4 has already been confirmed and announced for 2028 because we know season 3 is coming soon to us.
2028. See, that's what I'm talking
But they
about.
come out every 2 years because season 3 come out in 2026.
Let me tell
Like,
you something. It's
Okay.
people. It's people out here dying from side effects of COVID vaccination every day. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to 2028. So why
You know
don't
what
they
I'm
drop
saying?
this right now, bro?
but if you guys didn't get a chance to also catch the teaser trailer for House of Dragon season 3 is also out. Okay, so now that we got off the topic of Witcher on the House of the Dragon, but we'll talk about it when it comes up because it's coming soon. Let's go on to our next topic, which will be it. Welcome to Derry, episode 4. This episode was titled "The Great Swirling Apparatus of Our Planet's
Hold
Fortune."
on, you skipped
What?
something.
What I
Y'all
skip?
didn't give y'all reviews for the
Oh, the
Witcher. So
review.
see,
So we got on the tangent of Game of Thrones.
That's what it was.
Oh,
We done
because I
went from
gotta
we done went
average the
from we done went from The
scores.
Witcher to Harry Potter to Game of
Uh,
Thrones.
I'm gonna give it a solid 8. Solid 8. Solid,
Same.
solid 8.
so that would be I gave it an 8.5. Y'all gave it 8. So I guess it would be an 8.25, and that makes round up to an 8.3.
Oh shoot!
But
I
I
thought we going
said we wasn't
0.5.
doing
Like,
those, so
yeah.
it would be
We just
more towards an 8. It'll be
okay.
an 8.
Solid 8. The
Solid eight.
Witcher season
Oh, my
4.
bad, my bad, my bad. I did that for Franken. I watched Frankenstein too, so I'm gonna give y'all my review because right now y'all have that at a 8.5 without me reviewing it, and I just
Mhm.
watched it. I stayed up late last night watching it, so
That
I
punch.
I kind of remember y'all saying it moves slow
Mhm.
through certain parts. It was a 2.5 hour movie. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It had
Um,
definitely moments where like,
I
what
don't
happened?
know if it was just me when I was watching the movie. Once again, Skitty, I know you remember me saying this yesterday. I fall in TikTok rabbit holes now watching people open Pokemon cards. So at the same time I was watching Frankenstein, I was on TikTok at 12 midnight watching somebody open Pokemon cards. So to me, to use your word, pacing was cool with me, but I guess I was paying attention to two different things. So, with that being said, I'm gonna pretty much keep y'all average here. I'm gonna give it a 8.5, and it stays at 8.5. So,
Alrighty, alrighty.
Moving
So there we go. Alrighty. All right, so moving on to again, Welcome to Dairy, episode
ep-
4.
episode 4 named Marge Deserved It.
Pick me March got just deserves. So we welcome back to Dairy. The fear is real and the receipts are vanishing. Episode 4 brings cosmic lore, bad parenting, town secrets, and Pennywise handing out karma like it's candy. The kids are scrambling and the adults are useless, and the clown is leveling up. Let's dive into the WTF moments of episode 4. Welcome to Dairy. Man, I knew. So let me say this, Skinny. I know last week we talked about this. I should have said it. I knew them pictures was going to disappear. Disappear. I know I said it. I was like, "What?"
It was too
I thought the
easy.
pictures were going to disappear, and then as soon as they got to the
It was
office,
too easy.
could y'all do me a
Too
favor? You
easy.
know my memory
uh
bad.
huh,
Could you like recap me on what that episode was about? Because we're 1 week later now, and I don't.
yeah,
I'm waiting for tonight's
So
episode. I don't
basically,
remember.
they, remember after the graveyard scene, they got the pictures, they developed the film, and they saw,
Oh yeah.
what
Oh
was
yeah.
in the
Yeah.
film. But when they took it to the
The the
police
police they
station,
disappeared. I mean, it wasn't on
the
there.
but the thing is that the only picture that
Was the
showed
clown.
was the clown.
Right, 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 right.
That was crazy.
So I
The
got that. So
clown was
what else happened major in the episode? I'm just trying to once
the
you tell me that
history,
of it. We
the
finally
history
got
of
the
it,
history. It
all AKA the Galoo.
the
That's what they
why,
glue.
call it,
why
the
am I blank?
Galoo.
Oh yeah,
So
and
remember
they
Halloran,
built the
the
thing around the
pillars.
forest, right?
Hmm.
Okay, I
And that's
remember what
how
the
Derry
episode was
was
about. We can
created.
talk now. I got it. I
Okay,
got it.
yeah. So that was the biggest thing of the episode, obviously, which
Yeah.
was the history of it, aka the Galoo. So Halloran basically incepts, real Cassandra Nova type mind in Taniel, who is one of the he's the nephew of Rose, who basically belongs to the children of Mantarin. And we find out that it was a cosmic entity that was sent to Earth millions and millions of years ago when he met
Vanished.
vanished to Earth
Vanished.
millions and millions of years ago. When he met the first people, that's when, obviously the war went out. As time went on, the Native Americans basically tried to protect the forest at the time from it. They created a dagger from the asteroid or the star that it was sent from. That was a way to kind of keep him off. But once, obviously white people came in and started taking over lands, the Native Americans tried to warn them and they didn't listen, and it basically desecrated all of them. So in order to have like a last front to basically protect them and the world from it, they decided to create these pillars, and they stationed these pillars around the forest, which is now Derry, to basically trap it. So we learned that it is technically trapped.
The
Go ahead.
pillars were made of pieces of the star that entrapped the Galoo while he was travel. It was traveling to, well, it got banished to Earth. So they took pieces of the star that it came in and put it around, buried it in certain spots of the forest so it couldn't pass the star that it came in. Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
trapping him in Derry, or was now known as Derry. So that was the biggest thing. The one thing fans are asking or speculating during that scene where we finally see that Halloran is the one controlling the memory for Daniel, he has a moment right at the end where he gives out this hellish grin. Fans are asking, do you believe that was really Halloran, or was that Pennywise taking over Halloran's inception to find out how he can leave Derry?
No,
Nope, you don't think so?
no.
Okay,
Mm-mm.
gotcha. I don't think so either. I think it was him. I mean, I know I mean, obviously we seen the episode before what Pennywise can do. He did take over Halloran's inception when he tried to incept him, but I don't think so. I think it
It
was,
wasn't.
I agree with you.
It wasn't really a takeover. It was more so he noticed him. You know what I'm saying? He noticed his presence. It was like, okay, I see you. seeing me, who are, because remember, he asked them, the Galoo, it asked them, Pennywise asked them, who are you? And then
Mhm.
that's when, boom, it was done. Um, this was more so hollering and like you said, invading the dude's mind. But I think the reason why people thought, because I'm not going to front, my mind did go to Pennywise when his mom's eye dropped, and I was like, oh snap, like what happened? But then Hollering was like, you can show me, kid. Where's what do I need to see? Come on, show me. And then that's when the kid, walked over. But then that's when you see him as a grown dude, and they're both at the door, and he's just pointing out, showing him the way. So I think it was just like a more so of what's that word where you think it's something but it's not, redirection. I think it was
Okay.
more of a redirection rather than than what it was, but I mean what people thought it was. Because like I said, I really thought like when that eye started twitching, I was like, oh no, they got him. I was like, they got the Indian bull, they got the Native American bull. But yeah, yeah, no, just misdirection. That's all. I don't think it,
Gotcha.
it had anything to do with that.
I agree. I definitely agree. I think it was like you said, a misdirection. Obviously we're looking for it everywhere because he's kind of been everywhere, all over the show. So it's definitely something where you're like, wait, and I've been seeing it going around. I'm like, that's actually a pretty good theory. A lot of people have obviously built upon it, but we'll see. I guess in episode 5. But before we get to that, the other things that happened in episode 4, like we said earlier, pick me Marge. She gets her just deserved.
Mm,
So we know
I
that we see
can't
a
stand that little girl, yo.
yes.
Like,
mm.
we talking about the one that's always trying. Oh, the one who had the soda.
who turned
Yeah,
into
the
Yeah,
bottle
snail eyes
eyes.
with the
Yeah,
snail
whatever.
eyes
Yeah.
yeah, because like,
because she
and
was
then the thing
watching
is,
the snail video in science class, and so she was basically that was her fear. So it took that and literally turned her into.
yeah, because like, and then the thing is that it caught her at a pivotal moment. Because I thought, I think she was going to do it. I thought because she
That was
was
my
about to
question
start.
actually. Do you think she was going to admit it?
She was going to tell her the truth because she felt
Okay.
bad, and she was like, I got something to tell you. And as soon as when she was about to say it, and every time she was about to say it, she started feeling pain in her eyes, and I was like, oh snap. And I'm wondering if it was feeding off of her fear of her thinking about the reaction of losing her friend when she tells her the truth. Because
Hmm.
remember, the Galoo, aka it feeds off of fear, but it can also influence more the more someone's afraid.
Hmm.
So I was like, oh, so she was probably at a heightened point of fear in her mind with everything that was going on. And it was like, oh, let me fuck with you real quick, you little.
That's basically what happened.
Let me
Yo,
fuck
I
with
just don't
you.
understand why was her first reaction was to run into workshop and try to cut her eye off. Like I just want to
Hey,
know why that was what
I
you would have done. You would have
I ain't
just
gonna front. That was some G shit right there. Like, now, even though we can say we hate Marge, but she was like, "Nah, get this shit off of me by any means necessary." She was about to take that little wood scraper pick, and she was about to dig in her eye. She wasn't asking for no help, mind
no
you,
help at
no
all.
help. She went right to the saw, sawed her eye out, went right to got the whole pick and was like, "Mwah, mwah." Oh, yo, that was crazy, yo. That was,
Yeah,
and it was crazy how Lily just got
poor snitching
they,
Lily,
they all right there. She's holding trying to take away the little pick, and she got caught
like red-handed,
like
trying to save
damn.
her friend who wasn't her friend. And that's the crazy thing is like I hate when the shows do this because y'all telling me y'all ain't hear her screaming all that time. She was screaming for like a good 7 minutes before everybody showed up. With like from the
In the
bathroom
hallway
to the
screaming.
hallway, nobody heard her screaming. Holding her what was giant eyeballs. Like nobody saw that. Like,
Movie magic.
like
Yo,
that was
like
the
Movie
funniest
some
part.
magic.
things you how do movies nowadays. You know how like what you just said. We'll use that example. You just have to check your logic at the
The
door.
door.
You have to be a part of the universe you are watching and just take it for what it is. But yeah,
Like when Martin, like when they had that birth on the Martin show and the baby popped out
yeah,
like a, he was
yeah.
like, this ain't real, this TV.
Exactly, exactly. Yo, that was
Very true.
you automatically when you talked about that episode, what I thought you was going to talk about the episode when they chopped the toenail off and it flew around the room. Yo, but
Okay, yeah. So you're right. You gotta leave your logic. That's why I was like, okay, But like what Skitty said, just to kind of chime back. So the one thing I did like about this episode, and Skitty kind of said it, but Will, he basically kind of gives us the reasoning for Pennywise. As Skitty said, he feeds on fear. Some predators love the heightened adrenaline and certain things that make the fear part of your brain react, so you taste better. And we
It
do
gives
know
out that
that.
that whatever it is, the chemical releases
Mhm,
adrenaline or something into the blood to make it taste better. Yeah.
make it taste better. And we realize that is basically what we know of Pennywise. He has the float. He does eat his victims. Some of them he lets sit so he can eat them a little bit longer, skim a little longer, takes a little bit longer. But I do love the fact that this show is, not only explaining Pennywise, but also kind of fixing some things we know about the newer version of Pennywise 2017, in the 2020s of the It, and getting it a little bit more fine tuned. So, what else happened this Oh, so we found out that the reason why Ronnie dad alibi he can't give his alibi because my man's is smashing a married white woman.
Mm.
And if you
And I
guys know,
bet
in
you,
1960
and
that
I
don't work.
bet you, I bet you it's the cop's wife.
That's what I think. That's what I think too. I
I
think it's her.
bet
I
you it's
think
the
it's
cop's wife. I put money. I'm putting money because he was like, I ain't going to Shawshank if this gets out. And I'm like,
like, so what would you
yeah.
do? Like, do you like in that, especially, obviously with us, as people of color, like in that moment, do
I
you
mean,
go to jail for not
either
killing
way he's
five
stuck.
people?
That's what I'm
Or
saying. He's
do you
stuck.
he's
He's
stuck
stuck.
in the rock and the
He's
hard
stuck.
place.
Because he's that's like a damned if you do, damned if you don't type of situation right there. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? We're in the time where, we were looked at as still less than human beings.
Yep.
So, even though Derry is considered the North and we're not the South, what they say, you still have people threatening the sheriff, well, threatening the police, the leader of the police dude or whatever the hell he was, like if you don't do anything, we know he killed them kids. How you know? You just assuming? We
Just
know he
assuming.
killed those kids. Well, you know what? If you don't do something, we're going to do it, which basically implemented like they could have started some riot. They could have been on some, white hood stuff. So
Mhm.
we don't know, and that's
Mhm.
what the officer was preventing. But like I said, when dude said what he said, yo, and it just made a little bit of sense. If he's saying that he's not going to even make it to Shawshank, he slept with somebody who's in power in that town's wife. So it's either the cop's wife or one of the guys that came up to him and started threatening stuff. So
Yeah. I mean, definitely, like you said, he's stuck between, well, a
damned if you do, damned
prison,
if you don't.
a prison and a tree at this point. Cause,
But I'm sorry, I
man,
rather I now me, I ain't going front. I would have said something, even though the wife probably would have lied. I'd have been like, yeah, I would have described
I was
every bit
smashing
of
old Susie
what
in.
I'd be like, her nipples are this big. She got a mole under her right cheek. And I didn't kill no kids, but I was fucking your wife. My bad,
and
bro.
them joints look like snickerdoodles, dog.
What? What?
Well, it's interesting you said that because one of the things that's coming up, potentially this season is, and then something in the book and the lore is the black spot. And
Mhm.
it Derry does also have their own version of white supremacy, so They have like the men the shield or something like that. So,
Mhm.
we may get that scene because it is a very it's a hard pill to swallow in the book. So I don't want to spoil it, but as we see in the theme of this show, not only are we doing history, we're doing science, sci-fi, obviously we get into racism, a lot of things that happened during that time period, and the historically accurateness of it is what makes the show even better because they're not. Okay, Daria is exempt for what's going on in the world. Daria is not only experienced in the outside of the world, but they also have their own terror within. So it's like you say, damn if you do, damn if you don't. No matter which way you go, somebody's staring you down the face to try to get what they want. But what else? We talked about Halloran. We talked about Lily. So Lily decides to give her friends mommy's little helpers to help fight off Pennywise. Again, where are the people in this show? Where's the parents who stopped the little girl from getting 5 pills of Vicodin to give to her 10-year-old friends? I'm just trying to understand. Like,
Right. I was like, dang, they pill popping?
and then
Remember
when
when
she
you
dropped
come
in
to
the
this
toilet,
remember when you come to this place, parents just aren't parents like that anymore. They just it's a big cloud of fog over their eyes
mm-hmm.
or whatever you want to use it. But yeah, when you was talking about the pill dropped in the toilet, I was like, isn't that going to dissolve in the water?
That's what I
Like,
kept. I'm like, girl, it's all that time she took to think about it. I'm like, girl, it's gone. It's
right.
Like that would have been it. Like I wouldn't even have like tried to get it. Like why would you
No pun intended. You said that would have been it. No pun intended.
that that
That's
that yeah, that's I'm sorry. If a public toilet at that, I wouldn't even do it with my toilet. And I clean my toilet. You know what I'm saying? Like
it would
but
look
a
like she was like, should I get it? Should I get it?
public school toilet, oh dog.
I'm like, girl, you might
That's
well
the
just let it go. Just go ahead and fight it. Just don't-
that's a
Yo, this is a
shitty pill to
segue.
take.
Segue real quick. I got a quick question. Quick question. Since we brought this up, be honest. I want you to be honest, both of you.
Mhm.
Public toilet. Do you wrap it up or just raw dog it?
Oh,
No, it
depending on where
depends.
I'm at, like
Right.
what like for instance, I work at Amazon. When I worked at Walmart,
Mm,
I went right to the utilities people. I was like, could you give me a spray bottle?
mm,
Can you give me some paper towels? I put
mm.
some gloves on. I just like that.
Right.
And I wipe everything off
Right.
because my fat ass is not hovering.
Right.
Now, if I'm at a club or a bar, I'm just making sure I gotta pee because if
Right.
I gotta poop, I'm going to fuck home.
Yeah,
That's it.
exactly.
Again, my fat
Rain.
ass is not hovering anywhere.
Well, for the woman in the room who who doesn't have the who doesn't
She
have
hovering. She
the
whoa whoa whoa.
yeah, we gotta get our knees in the
Hold
bathroom.
on.
Like
Hold on. Hold on. It's been a minute.
Yep. Yep.
It's
She
been
gonna be
a
she
minute.
gonna be on her mag Negro.
the
To the
magnify.
bathroom. To the bathroom.
And sometimes you gotta like, what's that movie where he like holding on? Like sometimes you gotta use the walls to prop yourself up
That's why
because
they go in bathroom in groups to hold each other, hold each other up.
and
Oh
we do not
man.
do that. But I mean, like I said, it depends, especially after having a kid, it's harder for me to like hold my bladder. So sometimes if I gotta go, I don't have time to prep the seat. I try to hover, but if I fall, I just hope that pray to God I don't come home with herpes.
See,
But
you just opened up a whole different can of worms. To answer my own question, first of all, I'm like Skitty. It depends where I am. You know what I mean? And I have a whole little thing of dude wipes that I carry with me just to, you know what I mean. But the second part, when you talk about you had a baby and it's harder for you to, hold your water now, I'm old. Soon as it get cold, I feel like, man, I could take
Bruh.
the best piss in the world 3 times in an hour. Like,
Let me drink enough water.
all
Let me
right, all
drink
right, all
enough
right.
water.
all right, moving on.
Nah, and
Just
double back on our on the YouTube comment. She's just a regular girl said, I yelled at the TV, girl, what are you doing about it? It's gone. And I was like, yeah, that's gone. And then she said, them squats come in handy, I guess, when it comes to when it
They
comes
do,
to
man. You be in the bathroom like, all right, you ready? One, two, three, four, five, six. Like for real, man. Sometimes you gotta really get yourself prepared.
shoot.
But all right, yeah. But just a few more things about Derry before we move on, guys. A couple of questions. So now that we know the lore of it, do you? Well, I guess we know the answer, so it's really not. But do you think it is going to try to escape?
No.
Nope. You don't think there's
I
you?
mean, I
I
mean,
mean, we
it
know the
because
answer, but
I mean, we yeah, I mean that because, but you gotta realize it got a food source. You know what I'm saying? Every
that is
27
true.
years, every 27 years, it comes out, boom,
Mhm.
does its thing, then goes back, hides for another 27. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay, so
Another
all right.
thing, another
Mhm.
thing is with the newest version of it, when they supposedly killed it in, this is a like I keep saying, it's similar to a eldritch beast. So you don't know if this thing is really dead. You
Yeah,
feel me? Because
that's
these
very true.
things existed before our universe existed, outside in
mhm,
another dimension. So what's dead to us is not may not be dead to them. If you think about
right.
Cthulhu and all these other things, yeah. But yeah. So
Okay. Do you guys think that learning Pennywise's cosmic origin and the Native Americans' weapons make it scarier or less mysterious?
I mean, we know that it came from, I mean, because we've done some research, we know that it comes from the place of the Dark Tower. But the whole thing is that not a lot of people know that. And I think, say your question again so I can make sure that
Do
I'm
you
saying
think
the
it?
next one.
Do you think it made him scarier or less mysterious?
No, it
Oh,
made
it.
you still
Yeah,
don't know about it. Like
yeah,
we know it came from the stars. We know it feeds on fear. At one time and point, it was coming out all willy nilly and didn't give a fuck about nobody
yeah.
until people started figuring out about it and how to, stop it or how to
Mhm,
quell it. So it had to start moving around a little bit smarter, especially after the massacre that happened.
mhm.
So nah, it still gives it's power of fear of the if the fear we are my brain went a whole bunch of ways. We are always going to have a fear of the unknown. That's plain facts, So, nah, it definitely sparked up more. Like, is there more, characters like it, like the Galoo? You know what I'm saying? The fact that, and I just realized that Dreamcatcher is connected to this universe too. So,
Mm.
Mr. Gray was a bad motherfucker if you know what I mean. So,
Yeah.
but
it just it
but
just
yeah.
it just I guess it entertains me to like I've known about this universe for a long time. So it entertains me that now y'all are just figuring
Mhm,
finding all this stuff out
Mhm.
because just to quickly answer your question, I'm always going to be fearful of something that when you see its true form, it'll drive you insane. Like it cannot even show you what it really looked like.
yeah.
So that's just for
Okay.
me.
Okay.
It turned one bull's hair white, right?
Yeah.
The crazy bull, the bully
Yeah.
Yeah.
turned his
Yeah.
hair instant white.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, I agree with you guys. Like, especially prior to the series, I wasn't a big fan of Pennywise or the It character because I didn't really find it scary after watching the movies. Like, I thought they were jokes. But I'm not gonna like I laughed through that because it wasn't scary to me. Like, I don't have a fear of clowns or in that sense, right? But once you dive into like I said before in the I think earlier in the Discord, like a few weeks ago, when you deep dive into the rabbit hole, you basically learn this entity is more than a clown. And that's the part I love, which makes it, like you said, a little bit more scarier because it's unknown. His real self is never really there. He's the image of what you fear. So, but to wrap it up, so we know that episode 5 drops tonight, and we are finally getting Pennywise on screen. And Stephen King has says that this will be the scariest introduction of Pennywise we've seen to this date. Are you guys ready for my man Ben Skarsgård to hit the stage? Ready to see
Yeah,
Pennywise?
now that y'all, when y'all corrected me last episode, well, you informed me because I didn't know he was on here. I'm
Mhm.
ready for it. I want to
I've been ready.
yeah, that's all I got to say. I'm just ready for it.
I've
Ready
been
for it.
ready.
Ready for it. Well, make sure you guys tune in to It Welcome to Derry tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on HBO Max. We got 3 episodes left. Moving on to the next subject. In the words of Skitty Live, it's like Shogun and Squid Games had a sexy baby. The top 10 show hits 100% on Rotten Tomato and does not let up the heat. Last Samurai
Okay, I
Standing.
got to check out because I'm only on episode 2.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Bruh,
I
bruh.
will get at you.
6 episodes of gloriousness. You hear me? I was so mad that it was 6 episodes because the fact that, the way it end, you're like, oh, I need more. I need more. But Netflix knew what they was doing. They was
Well, of
like,
course.
we're going to give you this part one. We're
Of
going to give
course.
you
Of
this part
course.
one. We're just gonna tease you just a little bit. Just gonna that guy with the hook. Oh, you almost got it. Oh, gotta be quicker than that. That's what I felt like Netflix was doing with this show. Cause how dare you put out this greatness and not give us a full season, like a full season, damn it. Cause I'm coming back for more. God damn, that show was crazy. And then to see the crazy connections about how people knew each other, how they used to fight in the wars with each other. Then you find out the bull with the scar was the dude that he was reaching for during the time that they were attacked by their own people. Oh man, don't get me started.
This was definitely a good watch. Just before Skinny gets more started than he already has, I'm gonna set some stuff up for you guys as far as plot wise. So it is set in 1878. The main plot of it is that we have 292 samurais who are in a deadly game to win over 100 billion yen. And the thing is, it's only 30 tags out to get. So I have 200 of them, only 30 of them get. And like you said, we do meet. It's a lot of betrayal, a lot of historic accuracy, a lot of WTF moments, a lot of people you thought was going to win that didn't win. Like it was definitely a really good watch. If you love a
Wow,
good
bull took.
samurai,
You thought the clean samurai bull because he was nice. He
hmm
was nice, but he just wasn't as nice as that berserker bull. Like,
just as not, yeah, yeah, yeah. That was definitely a good. And we follow the main character, which is Saga. He's known as the
mhm.
Manslayer. You know.
Whoo!
And
You
when
thought
he slayed
Rioroni
them
Henson
20
was a
people,
badass? Oh man. Ooh,
when he
this
slayed them 20
man.
soldiers, that was crazy.
No, when him and his mans was fighting in that library, in that well, not the library, but the little bank area. And and a lot of us saw the beginning of this fight in the trailer when they were just bang, 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 back and forth with the swords. But you got to see the rest of that fight because bull boy, he was restraining himself, and that's the whole thing. He does not want to kill. He accepts the change of the ending of the era of the sword,
Mhm.
but he's suffering. His family is suffering. His little girl just died, and he's trying
Yeah,
to
that was
get his
sad.
wife get his wife some medicine, some better care. So but yeah, but he still got that itch, and I
Yeah.
think people are trying to like bring it out, and they do. Don't get
Oh,
it twisted.
they get what they ask.
They
They get
they bring it
exactly what
out.
they're asking.
They definitely bring it out. So yeah, get hip with it if you haven't watched it. Yeah, let I'm gonna let you talk. I'm
No,
done.
it's okay. No, definitely.
Woo.
Like I said, I know this was something that you really, enjoy, and I enjoyed it too. I love a good samurai show.
I,
Like it's
I
nothing
wasn't
like
thinking it was gonna be that good though. That's the whole thing. When
I
you
said,
don't think it's
100% on
gonna
Rotten Tomato. That's crazy.
I I did not think it was going to be that good. And then the fact that you thought you knew who the main villain was, but then you find out that it was somebody else the whole
Whole
damn
time.
time. And I don't want to spoil it for y'all
Don't
because
want to spoil
I have
it.
a habit of doing that. So I'm gonna
Don't want to
chill.
spoil it. So let me ask you a couple of questions. Do you think the main character Saga, his motivation, like to join the game, do you think it made him heroic or desperate considering his situation?
I think, I mean, he's a man that wants to take care of his family. Every man can relate. Well, I can't say every man can relate to that, but you know what? Men, boys can't relate to that. Men can
Mhm.
relate to that. Wanting to take care of their family, would put themselves on the line, would work themselves to the bone to make sure that their daughters, sons, and wives, whoever they're in a relationship with, whoever their significant other is, they want to make sure that they're protected and cool. They want to make sure that they have, what they need to have to survive. But yeah, so nah, I think it made him admirable. And then the fact that because he lost his daughter, he
Mm.
sees another girl out there that's,
Yeah.
she's just a kid, you know what I'm saying, who's trying to get stuff to make her mother better. Because her mother was like a beacon to, a certain village that was dying and stuff like that. So she's in there trying to get money to help her family. So that's another thing that you find out about this story, that not everybody is on there just to be, bloodthirsty. They're on there for a reason to make their lives better. So, yeah,
Okay.
I think it made him heroic.
I agree. I definitely agree. So do you think that, I don't want to spoil too much, but we found out at one point that one of the participants is his sister. Originally she tries to attack him, but then she winds
Mm.
up joining them, right? So do you think the strategy of like aligning with his sister or family was smart, or even aligning with that dude who kept trying to get him to, make a, alliance to basically get to
I think he
Tokyo?
works for the government.
Okay.
That's what the dude, the ninja dude,
Yeah, that kept kind of, he just kept
yeah,
coming back. Like he
he's
kept
like, well, he got that happy smile, that I'm up to something shit. But the way he infiltrates stuff, I think he's one, probably like a ninja that works for the government. So I really think it's something up with him.
Mm,
Um, but remember, it's there. That's not the only reason why he's teaming up with his sister, because
right.
there's somebody hunting them down. That's the successor. That's a master, kind of like on some Akuma stuff. This dude, was it Bentosai
Hmm.
or Getosai? Get, I think it's Gentosai or Getosai. The old man who's hunting them down, because remember they
Yeah,
when they
gentle side.
Gentosai. So
Hmm.
remember when because the old their master, they're all orphans. They're all worn torn orphans. One, kind of it kind of gave me that there was this movie called Kanoichi, if I'm not mistaken. It was about a well, female ninja who was like the best of her, crew. But it's a deep story. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's awesome.
Mm-mm.
I don't know if I'm naming it right. I'll go look it up. But
Okay.
back to the joint. So what happens is that, and this is in, certain lore. I'm not saying this is in every lore or in every, Japanese historical thing, but there's always a character that's the master of their art, their
Hmm.
martial art or whatever technique, that loses their mind, and basically death is their only comfort. Getosai is that bull, because he
Yeah.
came to their master and he's like, okay, you know what our martial arts is for? It's killing. So whoever's the best needs to kill me.
Hmm.
I'm going to hunt them down one by one. And it started with their master. Their master got off by Gentosai, and then that's when he tracked down the other ones. And remember, he always calls out their number. Oh, you're such and such, the sixth successor of that martial art. I finally found you. and then
Mhm.
he kills them or fights them. Because it was crazy how all of them met up, at this area. You know what I mean? But you find out that stuff was already premeditated too. That's another thing. That's that Squid Games
Yeah.
thing right there, where you find out stuff was already premeditated because of certain situations that happened in the past.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I'm just wondering because right now, as far as I know, there's the two brothers, well, the three brothers, including the main character and the sister. So that's four successors. If I'm not mistaken, there was eight.
Yeah.
So
And we still don't
who?
know. I mean, technically, there's no winner yet, in a
Right,
sense. You know,
right.
that's the kind
So
of big thing. Like, we really don't know what's, or like in Squid Game fashion, what's the next part? Like,
no,
so
no.
you
Oh,
know,
I mean more so, not more so the overall game wise. I'm talking about their situation. You know what I'm saying? There's only
mhm.
four successors of their martial art, what they learn,
Oh, you talking
because
about? Okay, I thought
because
you
he
talking for the
killed. Remember,
game,
he
because the
killed
game
them
would give you up to
before the game.
9.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
remember he killed them before the game started. He was
right.
hunting them down as soon as their master let them know what was going on. They was like, either we got to work together and fight this dude, or we got to go off individually and fight him on our own. Because that's what the two brothers did. They got up and they were like, all right, we out. We out. We got to do this on our own. And now they mysteriously found each other. But again, there's only four of those successors left. And the girl just realized, hey, we can't do this on our own. We got to take this dude down together. So I'm wondering how many of the successors are going to survive. Obviously, you probably the main character survives, but we really don't know until we get a part two. Damn it.
Well, obviously in Netflix fashion, we will definitely get a part two, especially the way things ended. So I got one more question for you. Do you think that as far as the action style, do you think that it was a success, or do you think it was over the top?
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. I
Yeah, a lot of
tell
people saying they
people,
think it might have been too. They try to overcompensate
Rhea
with the
Roni
actual
Kenshin,
story.
Rhea Roni Kenshin, the beginning, live action on Netflix, fire. It has that work. Now I haven't. It's not too. Now what I'm glad it doesn't have, and it has a little bit of it. The kind of over the top, where it's too much over the top. It has a little bit of the crazy acrobatics, but nothing too crazy. I mean, nothing that would make you think that this was an anime first. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So that's what I like about it. It's a little more grounded than other, martial arts type of movies that are like that. Like, it's more
yeah,
closer to Shogun than it is Rurouni Kenshin. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Agreed.
With its storytelling. I mean, even though the action is whoo, that action,
I love the
man,
action. That's the
man,
best part I love about a good samurai film is the action. Like I wanted, like I said, see slicing and dicing ass. Like that's what I want to see.
what?
And I don't understand. Like when I come for a sword fight, I want to see the swords. Like so, I was
Because when
completely fine with
Cause
it.
you think that old man moves slow, he just be walking, and then when somebody come up in his face, I'm like, what?
It was so quick.
You be like, where did the arthritis go? Like, he did that shit in three
Definitely.
moves. I'm
And
like,
that's always just
damn,
kind of like the style for when it comes to like movies and shows and that type of air. You always get that old person who you think is like weak, and that weak sauce is like they about to
what,
show you
what,
real Mr. Miyagi style.
what?
They definitely about to show you. Alrighty. Well, just to wrap it up, make sure you guys tune into The Last Samurai Standing on Netflix. It is currently in its top 10 lineup for TV shows. I think it's number 4 on the list. So make sure you guys check it out. It was a great watch. If you're into feudal Japan, a historical drama, or just want to see a whole bunch of slashing and dicing that ass, this one is the show for you on Netflix. So on to the anime level, which is our final level of the day. And we're going to talk about, first and foremost, officially one of the greatest final seasons in anime history I've seen in like since Attack on Titan. I'm gonna say that. So my man Deku and the My Hero Academia, the final push of the last season, episode 166 and 167 of Vengeance Assemble. I mean, plus Ultra final round. And when I say, I'm gonna say this first before we get into the quick deep dives and hot takes of the final. Well, technically the final episode. We still got more episodes to go. The epilogue series, but Deku, thank you for being one of the greatest heroes of all time. I know a lot of people give you gripe and a lot of people give you issues, but your ultimate sacrifice saved your world and it will never be forgotten. So shout out to AK Deku Midoriya Izuku for being the greatest hero of all time. Now let's get into it. In episode 166 and 167, we get the biggest reveal that it was all for one all along. We thought that Shigaraki was the greatest villain of all time, but really the layout for him was done by Alphron, even down from choosing his daddy. Even down from choosing his daddy. He chose the daddy, he chose the mama, he chose even the quirk that he has wasn't even his. All for one did it all. And in the last moments of the battle, we thought just maybe Deku may come on top. All for one takes over Shigaraki battle in his body in his final form. And the boys pull up. Everybody pull up. It's all out battle. UA versus all for one. So let's talk about it, Skitty. How you feeling? How you liking it? And what are your thoughts on My Hero Academia versus
I've been
Final
saying
Season?
it every episode since we've been talking about it. I stand 10 toes down on it. The new big three has been Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, and My Hero Motherfucking Academia. Period. No debate. Whatever. Fuck out of here, dickhead. I'm sorry. Sorry.
No, fuck
Got a
that
little
dickhead
Philly.
part.
Sorry. Got a little Philly. Um, but no, for real though. Like I've been saying this. I've been saying this, and the fact that the final season has been nothing but bangers after
After
banger
bangers,
after
after
banger
bangers.
after banger. The pacing of the story,
I don't think I
banger
put
after
tissue out yet.
banger after banger. The action of the animation, everything, banger after banger after banger, and then the storytelling of I know I said Kaiju number 9 is my villain of the year, but I have to retract that. All for One
Mm.
is bananas. We thought
But
this dude was gone.
we thought
You
he was
hear me?
gone. He was a
We
baby.
thought he evaporated, right? You know, we thought he unborn himself. You know what I mean? This man came back from consciousness. Consciousness. That's how determined he was. You found out, and then like Rainy Day said, you found out that it was him who orchestrated all of this. They were like, whose memories is this? Hold on.
That's
I
exactly
don't
what happened. They both like, this is
I don't
exactly what
remember that. I didn't I wasn't drinking with that dude. I'm too young to drink. What? Come to find out, he was still there, just chilling, just waiting for him to get weak. And as soon as Shigaraki got weak,
as soon as it.
soon as he let his guard down, as soon as he let his hate down, that was it. And then that was the end of Shigaraki.
The end.
That was it. The end. Wrap.
That
Blew
was
up.
it. He was there.
And
But
then
that final
reconstituted.
form, though, when he changed,
What?
man,
Grin
hey,
on his mouth and
the
everything. I'm
giant
like,
hand, the
oh
freakazoid hair that was kind of
man.
like this illuminating. Like, my man leveled up. Like,
Yo, I'm telling you, that was a crazy. You talk about comeback,
it was
man.
jaw dropping. It
Yeah,
literally was
yeah.
like, it literally was like he was like master, and it was just like, wait, what? And then it was just like, oh my god, this dude all, and even Deku was like, yo, this dude just won't give up. He just won't give up. Like all for one, his obsession with being the best and his obsession with his brother obviously led to his ultimate demise because he was clinically way past obsessed with his own brother. Like it was just too much. Like the
It was very
control,
unhealthy.
it was very unhealthy. And that like I mean, even he said it in the most recent episode, as Deku, Azawa, even the kids come to fight, he can tell they're at their weakest. They have nothing left in them but the hero in their eyes. The millions of people yelling, "You can do it! You can do it! You can
Me
do it!
screaming at the theater, you can
You can
do it!
do it! You can do it! You
Fucked
can
up
do
high as hell. Go ahead, Deku! My mom telling me to shut up. Yo, I was tearing up. You know what I mean?
it!" Yes.
Real quick, I just don't want to get this lost once we get to the wrap up level,
Mhm.
because I don't see it in your runner show, but
Yeah.
we have to talk about this. The Warner Brothers selling itself, trying to get sold, and the Snyderverse coming back. We have to talk about that
Okay.
because I've been praying for days like this. I'll speak to you soon.
We're getting this soon. But yeah, what were we saying? Oh, like so you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. Right? That was the big thing. The other big thing that was from this episode that every fans are raving. My man Bakugo came from the hospital suite on his deathbed with the final one punch combo. My man threw
Don't let
across
me
the way.
pass you, Deku.
He was dying. He was like, "This dude still
Everybody was
alive?"
on their deathbed. The bull with the rocket calves, the rocket feet. I was like, that he's still running. You know what I'm saying? Like they had Red, my boy Red Riot blocking with the slug girl. I was like, they awoke now. You know what
They
I'm saying?
awoke
Like,
now.
because they was stretched out. Everybody was stretched out. But did you?
Stretched out.
Everybody was what? Deku, we need you to do this. But that
Mm.
was crazy though. That was crazy. And then reconstituted himself
But
again.
our man Deku, even with no quirk at all, he lost one for all. He was done. But
Yeah.
that it's just something about that spirit energy, that power of friendship, that last little bit of let me rev it up for you. And he gave him that finer Denver, Detroit, whatever, Baltimore smash. My man gave him the final punch and it was over. It is finally over. Finally, All for One has been defeated, and we finally. It was beautiful to watch. I really don't have any words because of how great it was. Like I'm so happy for My Hero Academia because over the years after 8 seasons, it's definitely got a rough way. And I know it's really not many questions we could ask about it, but just seeing the roller coaster ride, this was what they needed. It's the doubt should be done. Like it should just give it its flowers and let it go. Let it's one. It can't get any better. And that's how I felt about Attack on Titan. It just can't get any better. Like when some things just come together well, and this one came together well. So I mean, anything else you guys say, Skitty, besides Plus
Besides
Ultra?
that, it's a big motherfucking three, and people need to deal with it. That's it. It's big three. It's big three. Deal with it. Fuck out of here, dickhead. But yeah, that's it. That's it though.
Alrighty, moving on. So, due to time, I'm going to table that Gotcha Akuda. Gotcha Kata.
Get
Gotcha
caught,
Akuda. We'll
which
guys
I ain't
to
going
you
front
watch it.
because I'm I know, but because I just watched the episode and it
I know.
revealed something today.
It did,
So
and it's some blickies.
but we definitely
It's a
gonna
lot
save
of
it
stuff.
for tomorrow.
We're
We're gonna save
gonna save it for next week. We're
we're
gonna
gonna
save it
save it for
next
the
week.
next one,
And
next
now that my
episode.
hero is done, we don't need to talk about the
Yeah,
epilogue. We really don't need that. But
yeah.
so we're gonna table Gotcha Kuda, and we're gonna get right up until the wrap up level. So before we dive into the other topics wrap up level, as Bruce said, let's talk about the newest drop in the DC/Warner Brother universe. Warner Brothers is trying to get sold. Is looking for help. It's looking for a line. It's looking for some money. And with that being said, it's possible that the Snyderverse is coming back. With the
I don't
current
think it's going
DCU and
down.
James Gunn, how do we feel about that? Do we want the Snyderverse back?
Do we want it? Yes. Is it happening? I don't think so.
You don't think
I don't
so?
think so. I when my hope died with the Snyderverse is when Henry Cavill revealed that he was coming back as Superman, and then not even fucking 3 months later, it was like, oh no, I'm not going to be Superman. I'm not going to be in this.
He
Oh, it's
wanted to be
going
the
to be
Witcher.
somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So
Because he wanted to be the Witcher.
it's going to be someone. It's going to be someone else. So you know what I'm saying? I don't think. I don't. I really don't think personally. I don't. I think Snyder's done. I think he's done. Unless they. You.
Mm. Gun.
Done is done.
Oh man, I be feeling bad. Well, I don't feel bad, but yeah.
Just don't. And d- and we don't want Jason Momoa to be Aquaman anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, he can
Yeah.
stay as Lobo. He can stay
Keep
as Lobo.
Lobo. We don't need him to be Aquaman anymore. They need to edit the Flash. We need
Yeah,
a
they
new
need to get the
Flash.
trash out of it.
They need
Get
to
the
start from
trash.
the ground up.
Shout out to Grant Gustin. We want Grant Gustin.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just bring. Oh well, he can also bring Harry. I would take. I take the guy
Harry.
that play Reverse Flash.
Oh, yeah,
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 the
yeah,
one who
yeah,
plays.
yeah.
I can see him in not him
Harrison.
playing Reverse Flash, but I can see him being in that universe and being a good villain, like that character. That I don't know the guy who named the actor, but he's a good actor.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
he was great as Eobard Thawne.
I
I
do
ain't gonna
agree.
front,
I
yeah,
do agree.
yeah.
But
I ain't,
fitting
yeah.
the James Gunn, he doesn't seem like he fit the James Gunn version of just the kind of way
But
James
I
Gunn is going with the DCU.
but yeah, I don't
Both of them,
and I don't
pair
think I don't
team.
think Pa- and I don't think Paramount's getting it neither because I also heard that like they done offered like 8 different offers and WB was like, "Nah." What? What?
WB is like, we don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want that
WWD is
problem.
like, we already feel some type way you took over Batman versus TMNT. Like we feel some type way. Cause I didn't know that they made that a Paramount property, even though it's partnered with Warner Brothers. It's more Paramount than it is Warner Brothers. That's why you haven't seen um the Batman versus TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. That is
Was it Turtle or DC? Yeah,
it was supposed to be a collaboration.
a combo
It's supposed to be a
project.
both
It
because they
sounds
have
like
a
it's a
com-
Batman
because they have
project.
a
The
comic
Batman
book
name came
together.
first.
They have a comic book together, and the comic book is DC based. You know what I'm
Okay, so
saying?
okay,
So it's like you would think that it would be DC based, but now Paramount was like, no, 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 no. This was our idea. This is ours. This is ours.
uh huh, okay. Yeah, we're almost done. We're almost done. We got like a couple more topics. That's all. All right. So besides the Warner Brothers topic, another thing is that Twisted Metal was renewed for season 3. If you guys haven't watched Twisted Metal, it comes on Peacock. It's from the original game. It is a really good watch. It's hilarious. It's action packed. It got crashing cars. Everything you wanted from Twisted Metal coming from game to screen. So if you're into Twisted Metal, season 3 was renewed.
I
Season
can't
2 is
hear you
now
right
on.
now, but that whole talk I just had with y'all wasn't on screen at all. So
Oh wow.
Oh,
See,
Netflix. Well,
see,
anyway, hey,
that's
just
God
wait
saying
till
something.
December 15th to know about the Warner Brothers selling, and
That-
we'll see if I'm happy or sad. I get that.
That's God. That's God saying something right there. You know.
we'll see.
See,
The
God,
other
God,
biggest, the
God's like
other
no
biggest
Spider
thing.
Verse.
Speaking of Paramount, the other biggest thing that came out of Paramount this week is they decide to cancel The Last Ronin. As we found out months ago, reported on the Level Pod that The Last Ronin was going to be a rated R film, which was a spinoff from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And after much deliberation, Paramount has not only decided not to just table the idea, they're going to scrap it completely.
Not
So,
even
hi.
just. It's not even just the movie. The game.
Yeah,
The game that had a teaser trailer, and and
done.
and people were so hyped. Canceled. Dropped. What the fuck? One of the most, like, if that wasn't one of the most anticipated, one of, I ain't say the, one of the most anticipated games, movies that people been wanting to see for a long time. And then because right before the cancellation, it was a rumor going around that the April O'Neil from the 90s movie was going to be in this joint.
Hmm.
Like, come on, man. Like, come on, dog. Paramount, what the fuck is you doing? Like, what
I
is you
think the
doing?
issue, and this is what I had a conversation about, the nerd group this week,
Hmm.
that we talked about, we on in together on Facebook. One
Hmm.
thing that I think is that when it comes to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle franchise, up until this point, because now they focus on the Turtle versus Sonic, but up until this point, the audience
Has been
demographic
younger. Has
have
been
been
younger.
younger,
Right.
and we
Right.
see what happens when you take something that's typically used to being younger and try to force it to adults. Like even Disney and Marvel go through this with the Deadpool. Deadpool was rated R, but only because Disney allowed it to be rated R after so much going back and forth about
Right.
what can they do. And when you take these characters who are the fun piece of loving trash talking video game dudes,
Yeah,
and
they
then
ain't
you
been
got
serious with the
him.
black and white comic book. Right.
Yeah, you
Right.
got him potentially about to, what a Ronin is. He about to slash and dash. Ah, like it's not.
And the novel is crazy because the novel
Yeah.
goes because the novel goes through some stuff, and I was wondering because you know what, before me and old boy decided to part ways, we always talked about like how would they go about with killing off the turtles because the way they died in the novel,
Hmm.
yeah, it was brutal. It was
Yeah.
definitely brutal. So how would that have, how would they have portrayed that in a movie?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that don't mean you cancel the fucking game, motherfucker.
Well, maybe if they get the Warner Brothers deal, they'll bring it back.
I, I mean,
I mean, it is Warner Brothers style. It is
I
Warner
mean,
Brothers
if
style.
Warner Brothers, like I said before, if Warner Brother goes with Paramount, it would be cool because they already had collaborations with properties before. So, that would be cool. But like for real, and what Bruce just said, and I looked up that Universal is one of the front runners. This is
Yeah.
what I've been talking about. Legacy. You know what I'm saying?
It's
The
not
big
kidding. You said Paramount was going to do it, and me
No,
and you
no,
both
I
wrong
said,
at
I
this
said,
point.
I no, I and I but I also said that the big five, I said who I said the big five studios. I did mention them. And
But you didn't
Universal,
mention Netflix.
no, oh, because Netflix not the big five.
It is. Bruce posted in the group me. I mean, in the Discord. It is.
That is part of the big five studios.
Yeah, it's number 5. It is on the
Oh,
streaming platform. Well, actually,
they
I was like number 3 or something like that. Yeah, it is. It's one of the
okay.
big 5. So I was telling you, stop counting Netflix down because they're young. We see what
Well,
they can do. We see their potential. We've
okay,
been seeing it.
modern big five. Well, hold on,
Yeah.
modern big five is Disney, Paramount, Sony, Universal, and Warner Brothers.
Let me go to what because me and Bruce had this debate. Remember, I don't know if you remember seeing it when he was talking about Paramount, and right after I said it, he was like, "You said Paramount has good show,
Yeah,
no good
yeah,
shows,"
we was,
and he
yeah.
posted, and Netflix was on it, that list. I'm about to go find the picture.
I'm looking at the joint right now. I just the big five studios. And then there was the golden age, which was MGM, but Amazon bought MGM. But no. when I said, because I did talk about Universal Studios,
Hmm.
and I said they made a power move a while back. That's why you don't see an individual Hawk movie. You still haven't seen the only individual Hawk movie they allowed it to be was the Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton. That was Universal allowing
Yo, she
Disney.
right because I just looked at. I was watching the YouTube joint. I sent that picture because it was the argument about Paramount.
Right.
Paramount wasn't in the top three, but they was rounded out the top five because I was like, she was like, at the time, she was like, who's really checking for Paramount? And
Yeah.
Apple wasn't even.
Wasn't even on
Apple
the
was
list.
further down.
Hmm.
Netflix was. It was. I
It was
gotta
like number
find it.
three or four.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
let you. I'm not gonna.
But
This is this is
we're talking about
I got that.
streaming
I got
platforms.
that
Yeah, we
No,
because
got that.
hold
We're
on, hold
no.
on,
talking
hold
about
on.
a streaming
When you looking
platform.
at that, I typed in when I was proving my point. I went
Hmm.
to it was like the New York Times, all of that. I put all of those articles in there, and they had
Yeah,
Paramount is in the top five
Yeah.
yeah. But no,
as
I'm
subscriber
saying
base.
no, I'm saying it was interesting that Universal that you brought up Universal because, like I said, Universal. You know, what I mean, well, one, they've been in the top five since the beginning. They were
Yeah.
called something else though, RKO. But
Well, shout out to my company,
Yeah.
NBC Universal, baby.
because nah, because what the thing is that I said that they're one of they are the reason why we don't have a solo Hawk movie because
Oh
they
yeah, yeah,
still
yeah. They
own the
holding that up.
rights to
Hmm.
yeah, they own they not
Yeah.
Sony. They not going to make no partnership until it benefits them, but they also still own a stake in Marvel, which
Yeah.
nobody knows. They think all of Marvel is Disney. Nah,
No, it's not.
because Universal still has Superhero Island at their park, which was
Yeah.
crazy to me. So I was like, I wonder what Universal is doing under the scenes. So if
We'll
you know
see.
if Universal
I wouldn't
makes
be mad at Universal. I could see it being a good move for it just makes more it would make more sense for Warner Brothers,
they
considering how parallel they are on a lot of things,
I
you
feel as
know.
though that they would institute a Marvel versus DC.
That would be
I
great.
could see
I'd
that. I
be
could
here
see
for it.
that coming. I
They'll
would
be the
be
way they'll be the the Switzerland we need for these two companies to come together.
what something.
All right. So last couple things on the wrap up conversation before we end. We already talked about House of Dragon. We already talked about oh critical. So if you guys are a fan of just video game fans, D&D or just Amazon Prime in general, the Critical Role, which originally dropped Machina, which was a huge animation on Amazon Prime, has just released their spinoff, The Mighty Nine, and it's already 100% on the Tomato Reader. So make sure you guys check that out. Another episodic event, 30-minute episodes weekly. And then obviously we know Stranger Things is dropping next week on Thanksgiving as a reminder. And then the last thing in news is that, of course, Wicked for Good just dropped this weekend. Part two to the extremely hyped, extremely criticized, extremely talked about Wicked, which came out a year ago to this date, has now hit theaters. Anything
I
else on the
love
wrap up
Wicked.
list? I love Wicked.
Yeah, me and my
Love it.
mom. I took her last year for her birthday. We going this year again.
Yep,
You know.
gotta go.
So
Loved it.
yeah, yeah, I love
I
it.
still sing the song. Yep,
You know what I mean?
I know that
Yeah.
whole song by heart. I was in the car singing it for months.
And I ain't gonna front the part where they was dancing with each other in the, in the little thing when she was doing the dance by herself,
Oh
and
yeah,
then
the bird dance. I don't know what she was
yeah,
doing.
that 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 was like best friends forever. So
Looking
yeah,
ridiculous. That's how you know it's your best friend when they get out there and look ridiculous to you.
you know what I'm
Token away.
saying?
All right, I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. We're gonna wrap it up. So that is our show for today. Thank you for tuning in. What you
No, I'm
laughing at?
looking at the comments.
Oh,
Bruce was
what?
like
Did we miss something?
banger after banger after Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson. But okay. So yeah, that is it for today's show on the level. Thank you for tuning in weekly for Sundays for your weekly check-in for geek and pop culture. I'm your host, Rainy Days, Skitty Live, and the man behind the chair is Bruce McFly. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to a nerd who knows a geek, who knows you. Check out our most recent drop from the critical level. the top 10 favorite games of all time. And until next week, you know what we say. We out. Okay, we gotta get off air. We gotta get off air. Gotta text Bruce that it is done. do 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 do
Oh,
do
I'm about to
do.
spark his inner Baltimore.
Uh,
Ravens suck.
he about to come. He
Uh,
about to come in like Batman. Did you see that thing I posted about the man who thought he was really Batman?
and he was white, right?
And you saw the thing. The wife divorced him because she was scared.
And he was white, right?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't. I read.
And what was that joke that I showed that hurt my chest?
Well, maybe he really Batman.
Who has white privilege?
Oh man, here we go. Ben Affleck, y'all talking about Ben Affleck, right?
No, I was talking about the thing I
I'm
posted
talking
about
about the Snyderverse.
uh,
I don't hear what else.
the man who thought he was Batman. He was
Oh yeah,
we we
geeking
off
out
we off
midnight.
air.
yeah.
Yeah, we off.
All
We
right,
off.
so
We off air?
this we done. I mean, did
Yeah,
y'all
we done.
sign
Yeah,
out?
yeah, we
Yep,
done.
we
We
signed
done.
out. We
Oh,
was just
you know y'all
answering.
was still streaming and recording, so
Yeah, that's why
Yeah,
we were just
yeah, that's
oh,
talking
what we
about
called it.
Batman.
my
Because
bad.
I
I'm
was
glad
like,
I ain't say.
I'm gonna call his inner Baltimore. I was like, Ravens suck, and you didn't come, and I was about to say something else.
Look, these guys, look, they play with me, but I'm gonna sign out now. And for all of y'all know the inside joke about yesterday, Skitty watches hentai. We out.